One Extra, it's your boy Ace, and we're here, man. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is here. And believe it or not, I've been blessed with the wonderful warrior women of Wakanda. We have got Danai Gurira, Lupita Nyong'o, and Letitia Wright in the building. How are you guys?
We're good.
How are you feeling, man? We're at the dawn of the movie release. Like, what does that feel like when you're about to give the movie to the world?
It feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, we made it to be seen, and the momentum is building. You can feel the excitement, you know. Some people have watched it and they've responded very well. So it's very encouraging.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to the big
Is there nerves, Danai, with a sequel?
Sure. But I think, this was a very particular type of sequel for us. And it was really dedicated to our dear brother's memory, Chadwick Boseman, and the legacy he created. So it was really purposed around honoring him.
Yeah.
And so there's the goal really was to do that and really give our all to that. And so the hope and the prayer is that that is felt by the audience.
Letitia, when it was announced that we was getting a sequel, Marvel fans are crazy. We were like, we want it tomorrow. It feels like a long wait for us. Does it feel as long as a wait for you guys?
Oh man, you know what? You definitely feel the time because, it's a journey. We had the journey with the first one, and then we had to spend that time allowing everybody to just celebrate it alongside us. I remember when the first film came out, there was already memes on Twitter with me and, with me, Danai, Lupita, and just them picking out the trailer, predicting what it would do in the box office, like just massive support. So that needs its own time to have a life. We have award seasons and stuff like that. And then our brother passed, and that is a time of mourning. That's a time of processing that's been really hard and still happening. So then we come into this film. It's a journey, but one that was worth waiting for, and one that was worth us all just dedicating to, because we have the finished product, and we're hoping that it inspires many people.
Do you remember that first meeting of what was that like? What was the feeling like in the room?
It was a table read, didn't it?
Yeah, table read. I remember it was awkward because COVID, you have to be 6 feet apart. I mean, it was so different from the first time, right? Where it was just like, we were able to just immediately...
Couches or something in the first one.
Yeah, we had couches, it was laid back. Now it was like 6 feet apart and, in this big room. We were going through a lot. We had to process a whole lot of emotions. It was very clear that there was something missing, something big missing. But I remember like Ryan said something before we started the read that was very centering, and just again, a reminder of why we're here, what we're doing this for. And then we got to the read, and as we read, we started to feel more possible, and then you see the new cast and what they're bringing to it, and it was very informative.
One thing I loved about the movie is, without giving away any spoilers, some of the dialogue, some of the script, when you're referring to T'Challa, it feels like you're referring to Chadwick. Like, it feels like you're talking about the same person in the way that it was written beautifully. Was it hard to deliver some of those lines, Letitia?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. You had to, in a way, you had to be very sensitive to the scene and what it needed. Some scenes you want to break down and cry, but you can't. You just have to give the line a matter of fact. But, it's still there. Like, that's one of the things about this project that's been one of the hardest. Like, you can't run from it. You just have to walk through it. And we walked through it together. And we just made sure that, like every line, every scene was just dedicated to him. I knew he was listening, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, bro, like, I know you're here. And we're not gonna let you down. And just in the ways in which we delivered those lines and did those scenes with each other, especially scenes that were really comforting, or, scenes that discussed how our characters were trying to move forward. We just tried to dedicate it to him in every nuance of those moments.
It's super powerful. I think it was the perfect nod to Chadwick. I think you guys
Bless
did an
you.
amazing job. And you, all three of you kicked ass in the movie, man. Like, how was training for this, in regards to combat training for this movie this time around?
It was intense. It felt more intense, maybe because I'd be coming out of COVID. We were coming out of a lockdown situation. It was like one of the first things I did outside of being in my house for a year, you know? So I think there was something about that. But also just, there was just different challenges with, you know, the face-offs that the characters are having. But ultimately, like, it was really intense and in a gratifying way because, you know, you want, that's such a part of the characters is like how they move with their bodies and go into combat is a part of how they think. And so, you know, you want that you get deeply training is actually character building.
We're used to seeing Okoye as just this badass, like, but you really tapped into like the sensitive side this time. Was that obviously with the situation, was that a lot easier to do this time around?
It was really story, you know. There was just a lot of the story really lended itself to that journey for her. I don't know how great she is at processing grief and that journey. You know what I mean? So the idea of being in more vulnerable moments was, considering all that they've all been through, was just extremely organic.
We spoke about the training, but there was a lot of the movie was underwater as well. You guys good swimmers before the movie, or did you get some extra training?
I got some extra training.
Oh, you
I
did?
definitely got some extra.
She's
training.
the pro.
She's an Olympic swimmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about Olympic.
She's an award-winning swimmer.
Debunking the myth that black people can't swim. I love that.
Yes, definitely.
I'm
Danai.
against that myth. I'm against that.
I love that.
You know, I want us to like really do a drive for black kids swimming now, you know, because
Oh yeah.
it's an important life skill.
Of course. What was it like getting in the water and doing loads of the action down there? How was that for you, Lupita?
Well, before this film, Ryan sent me a text message, cryptic text message, saying, on the scale of 1 to 10, how well can you swim?
Okay.
And I said 4,
There you go.
because I swim like a panicked puppy. I did. And so I was like, and he was like, okay, so maybe you might need lessons. And so I started taking swimming lessons. And then I went a step further and I did this thing called extreme performance training, where it is to increase your breath capacity by performing tasks underwater.
Oh, wow.
So like carrying weights and walking across the bottom of a pool and things like that. My thinking was, they're gonna be asking me not just to swim, to act as I'm swimming and probably have combat and all that. And I need to be more comfortable in the water than they need me to be.
Combat training, swimming, all of this stuff sounds very difficult, but I think the most difficult thing about being in an MCU movie is keeping the secrets.
You just shut your mouth.
I know, but how do you even train yourself to do that?
You know-
Like-
Go ahead.
Yes,
No.
Hit them. Hit them.
No. All I was gonna say was it's just been too much work.
Right.
So why would you want to spoil it?
Exactly.
Like, you just don't want to.
Everybody has that one person they trust, though. Whether it's your best friend or your partner. Are you not like, you don't want to just give them a little piece or...
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
No, for
How
real.
will it help them?
I hear
know,
you.
you know
Mine
the
don't
re-
want to know.
You know
Mine
the real
don't wanna
friends?
know
The
either.
real friends are the ones that's like, don't tell me nothing.
Yes.
Because you're so excited to share, like, yo, you don't want to know what's about to happen. And they're like, bruv, shut up, get out, leave me alone. Don't even change the subject.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
those are the best friends.
It feels so good to have a secret. I love having a secret. In fact, I'm a little sad that very soon everyone will know my secret.
After the humongous success of the first Black Panther, it was said, like, this is going to change Hollywood and we're going to see more black movies like this. Do you feel like you guys have seen it? You guys are in Hollywood. Has there been the change that we thought we were going to see in Hollywood? I see you guys looking at each other. I'm going to start with you, Lupita.
I think change is incremental. And I don't think it's fair or wise to put the onus of change on one film.
Of course.
You know? And so we did what we did, and I think it has inspired a whole lot more work. There's a lot of things that might be happening, and the people doing them will not say, we're doing this because of Black Panther. But I have definitely been a part of projects that those kinds of projects were not coming my way before Black Panther, you know? And so making any film is a miracle. Like from concept to actual execution and release is an absolute miracle. So I think it's too soon to be patting ourselves on the back and saying we did it. I think we continue in that vein. And in this film, we're pushing that legacy even further. Now we have a predominantly female-led film. And we already did something like that with the first Black Panther. But now, in the absence of T'Challa, the women have taken the fore of this in a remarkable way, and that this film is as big as it is, and with that feminist agenda is so cool. And hopefully there's more, coming out of that. I think Black Panther has been a positive influence on the industry, but there is work to be done, and let's do it.
One thing I've always wanted to know while watching Black Panther 1 and this one is like, it's a movie set in Africa. What are Disney feeding you guys on catering? Why are we like, what's going on? Are we getting some African food? Are we getting some like
straight for the kill?
what are we eating on set?
Listen.
We all have different palates.
Oh,
I
we have
will
to have
say.
strict,
Really?
our meals are pretty strict.
So they ain't no
Yeah.
that hot, they ain't no pounded yam or no jollof.
No, but there was a restaurant nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Is it
did.
Ike's or
Ike's? Ike's.
Yeah.
In
Ghanaian
Atlanta.
and Nigerian
Nigerian
food. And
food.
so
Yeah,
when
I
you
got
really
my-
had an irking, you
I got my jollof rice in
Cheat
Yeah.
day. Cheat day.
Yeah, I got my jollof rice.
goosey,
in.
we got it.
Do you
Yeah,
guys enjoy this
sufficient.
part of the promotional part of the movie? Like, you have to come to the UK, you go to the US, you're just going to Nigeria. Is all of this fun for you guys? You seem like you're having an amazing time, but it does feel like quite a part of the job as well.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work. And then also it's like, come on, reality check. We're living our dreams. Like, we're not taking this for granted. It is a lot of work. Some days you don't know if you're coming or going. You're just like dropping asleep in the interviews. But we're living out our dreams. We're allowed to express our talents in a way that we never thought would ever happen, You take it, you get on that plane, you drink your water, and then you do your thing, inspire the generations to come.
Obviously, there's so many different messages that you can just grab out of this film and lines where you're like, well, that relates to what's going on in Africa today and that relates to what's happened before. How important is it for you guys to be involved in a movie that also has messages and not just a fantasy superhero movie? Danai.
I don't think any of us would be involved if it didn't have that factor involved. You know what I mean? Like the idea of something that's rich and purposed and meaningful and thoughtful and connected to who we all are and things that need to be said, things that need to be reflected back to society, and things that we need to aspire to. Those are the sort of projects I think we all seek, and I think I can speak for, I think all three of us really, I can say we're all quite picky. So, it has to involve those things. And we always know with Ryan, it just will. There's just no question.
I love Ryan's accent, man. Whenever I hear him speak, he just sounds like a rapper from the West Coast. It's like, what is he like on set?
Same.
Really?
Thing.
Down to earth,
Same
man.
guy.
His references to basketball and sports, when he's trying to give us an example of what the scene will feel like. I'm so impressed by how he's been able just to remain himself. And he inspires us to be true to ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it even fair to start talking about Black Panther 3, or do I just leave that alone? I'm sure
that
even Go on. Is it even fair? Like, has pen been to paper yet? Have there
You
been
just talk to Ryan, innit?
conversations?
My man's plotting.
Is he writing already?
He's always plotting, bruv. Who knows? But
Marvel doesn't tell us anything.
Do they not?
No, they don't tell us.
we just
Do you know?
come to work.
Sometimes we look at each other suspiciously, like, do you know something I don't know? So no, we don't know.
There's moments where there's just like loads of crew and cast members everywhere. Like, they just feel like you guys are having a party, and even in mourning felt really African to me, because we don't really mourn in that way. In the sad way, we celebrate life. What were those moments like when everybody was really celebrating and partying together?
The best I can share is just the pockets of joy. There were so many pockets of joy. Whether it's I got on set with me, Dominique, and Danai. There's a particular scene. There's just pockets of joy, man. Just literally like falling over with laughter. Like, can't finish the scene. Like, Ryan's coming in, like just holding his belly at the fact that we're just having so much fun in the scene. It's hella cold outside, but we're making each other laugh, and we're just you know, just supporting each other, just pockets of joy that all came together to make this just a beautiful experience with my team. And then I think on this film, for me, I just realized, I knew it on the first film, but I was just, you know, little sister and, you know, getting warmed up into it. They had many years together. But in this film, I felt really loved and like I really have a family here. You know, no matter how many times we come back to do this or where life takes us, I definitely have a family. So that's what I've experienced with these beautiful people.
You guys did an absolutely amazing job, man.
Thank
And
you.
it was a perfect salute to Chadwick, man. I do want to say this. I interviewed Chadwick for 21 Bridges.
You did?
Yeah, it was probably one of his last interviews in the UK. And I said to him, we're so proud of Tish.
Yeah.
And his response was, look, sky's the limit.
I think she has everything. You know, she has the grit that you need to play any character. She has the innocence that you need. There's no limit. I just can't wait to see what she does.
Thanks,
Yeah,
bro.
he's the man, man. Thank you very much, guys. It was absolutely awesome. I loved the movie, and I know everyone else will. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.